Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk and welcome to my team selection video for Game Week 18. I'm going to go through the 11 players I'm going to put out for this blank game week. I'm going to look at some of the transfers that I have made and I am possibly looking to do, and we'll talk about captaincy as well. So if you enjoy these sort of videos, please give it a like, don't forget to subscribe, and in the meantime, let's get into it. Let's have a quick look at how I got in game week 17 then. I did take a 4-point hit. It was the second time I've taken a hit this season, both in 16 then in 17. So it's beginning to be a bit of a habit, and I'm not sure whether I like it. I always feel like it's a sort of side product of not being very well prepared or plan an FPL if you've got to take hits. But I can justify it, I think, this time around because I've just so many suspensions, injuries and things that have cropped up. And also, I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a hit if you can justify it and get those points back. But it just feels like if you keep doing it, you're going to get caught out. And over the long term, taking hits, you're not always going to get those points back. But I did it in terms of brought Richarlison in, Palmer in. They were the two transfers anyway. And then I've brought Solanke in because of Haaland not being available. So Richarlison's absolutely paid me back. Palmer's done brilliantly. And Solanke, depending on whether he keeps those points, and I suspect he won't, has been a good shout so far. Can't really kick myself if those points get taken away because of the abandonment. I think that's just one of those things. I'm not going to complain about it, but it just suddenly makes the hit doesn't become worthwhile. But I feel vindicated because he did get the points. But hey ho, the rest of the team was brilliant. It was a really strong green arrow for me. I'm now rank is as high as I've been in since game week 3, so 421,000. Back 4 was fantastic. Porro, Gabriel, Simicast and Dubravka all keeping clean sheets, and 3 of them getting bonus points as well. Bowen's been brilliant, and every time he gets points, I kind of compare him to Son because that was the choice I had when I wildcarded back in game week 10. And I haven't worked out who's done better. Bowen definitely seems more consistent. He's missed a couple of games as well, of course. Son more explosive, so I'm not really sure. I suspect Son's probably slightly done better than Bowen, but I've got to counter with the fact that he is a lot more expensive as well. Saka didn't return, Darwin didn't return, and neither did Salah. There were the only 3 players that didn't, but didn't really hurt me too much because most people are captain Salah anyway. But Palmer was absolutely legend with those points. And yeah, Richarlison, when he delivered on Friday night, was really good because he was such a differential, moved me up by about 10%. So really pleased with that. That was game week 17. Let's move on to game week 18. And the side looks okay. It was always going to be quite a tough game week because I've got 5 players playing against each other. And Arsenal versus Liverpool. And I just knew, I knew this was coming. But it was worth this week having this problem simply because Arsenal's fixtures have been so good, as has Liverpool's. So I've got the points in the bag. Now I come to this week. It's going to be tough to negotiate. I don't quite know where I'm going to go with this. I do know that the one transfer I'm going to make is Darwin out for Watkins. I could have made that last week, but I went Solanke instead. And if Solanke's points come off, that hasn't worked out for me. And in fact, I think if Watkins had come in last week, I wouldn't be looking at Solanke now because he's got one less decent fixture. So I could definitely make a defensive transfer instead. So in hindsight, which is always great, it didn't look great. Doesn't look great now, but at the time I still think it's a reasonable decision to make. Not coming off Watkins at all and just staying on him instead of going to Darwin 3 weeks ago would have worked out. But again, I think Darwin, at the time with his underlying stats and the fixtures, looked a decent shout, but he's only got 1 assist in that time. Watkins has outscored him, but it's one of those things. I don't think it was a bad decision. Bowen, I've got on captaincy. I think that would change if Watkins comes in, which, well, by the time of recording, I think Watkins that transfer would already have been made. So I think he has to have the captain armband. I just don't like captaining someone who's not on penalties. It just feels like their ceiling or their potential is a bit less. But I don't want to go Solanke. I don't think Bournemouth, even though the fixtures are great, away at Forest seems like a difficult game, as does Palmer away at Wolves. Richarlison, if he was on pens, I do like the look of as a midfielder playing up front. But Everton have been brilliant, but I'm not 100% set on it. I could still go Salah or Saka. I think I'm more likely to go Salah than Saka or Bowen. I mean, there's so many options. I do feel that this week feels like a little bit of the FPL of old when Salah had a difficult fixture and Haaland was not about. Who would you go for? Just so many options. So it does there's a potential, if you get it right, I think, to get a far bigger return and a good sort of boost on your ranks. If I have the option of taking a hit with so much money in the bank. Remember, I do want to get back to Haaland at some point in game week 20 at the latest, but by then Salah could have gone. So I do have the opportunity here to upgrade or move some of my defenders. Tsimikas at some point will have to give away to Robertson, or I could get rid of Cash and go to Colwill or Torres, but that is for a hit, and I'm just not sure it's worth taking another hit. Feels like Torres is almost guaranteed a clean sheet at home if he plays and he's fit to Sheffield United. So that would be 6 points. Now, will Tsimikas and Gabriel definitely not get a clean sheet? You think they get 2 points as it is, and their fixtures looking forward aren't that bad. So I'm not sure whether it's worth taking a 4-point hit. I'm just not sure, because I feel like Torres' ceiling is 6 points and the lowest point Tsimikas and Gabriel can get is maybe 1. So already I'm just going to make a 1-point gain. So is it worth it? I'm not sure. And I do worry that if I take Tsimikas or Gabriel out, one of the ones I take out will get a clean sheet. It could end up 1-0 and I've taken the wrong one out, because I just can't call that Liverpool at home to Arsenal. Saka and Salah, I don't think I'd take them out because of the penalty situation. So it is difficult. I don't see myself taking that hit to bring him in. Captaincy, at the moment, I think I've got to go Watkins. I just have to. At home to Sheffield United is too good to turn around. He's in good form. Villa look brilliant and they're just creating so many chances. If I don't go Watkins, I could go Richarlison, because I do feel that Tottenham just create chances against everyone. They're at home. But Everton are really good. I do think they're playing really well at the moment. But that's my choices. Watkins, definitely coming in. Do I take a hit? Probably not going to. That's it for this one then, guys. Let me know in the comments below who your captain is for game week 18 and who are your players that you're going to be bringing in. We'll come back at you next week with team selection, watch lists, all that good stuff. So good luck with your blank game week 18 team, and I shall see you on the other side.